Good day, everyone. My name is Darren Hardy. I'm a student from Madka University. I'm a nursing student, to be precise. So I'll be talking on the book The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. So this book teaches us that success doesn't happen overnight. Instead, it is a result of small, smart decisions repeatedly consistently over time, whether in our academics, health, finances, and or spiritual life. The little things we do every day determine the kind of future we will have. So first of all, the book, it is written, the compound effect. What is the compound effect? It is a principle that small, consistent actions produce extraordinary results over time. Many people want instant success. They want quick money, quick fame, and quick results. However, Darren explains that the lasting success is built gradually. Think about planting a seed. You don't see a tree the next day. It takes time, watering, sunlight, and patience before it becomes a tree. The same thing applies to our lives. So reading 10 pages every day may not seem much, it may seem little, you may not be feeling it at that time, but gradually, when you feel like you've read enough, it will be when it will be in the day of your exam. That's when you feel like, oh my god, if I hadn't read earlier, I would have even known this. Because I feel like most nowadays we students, I feel like we read a night before exam, and which is very wrong, because as a student you're meant to be reading daily, consistently. Even though it's one page, make sure you read, understand them before you move over to the next. It must not be more than you read up to 10 pages or 12 pages. So moving over to the next, so this book is actually telling us that small actions may seem insignificant today, but they become life-changing over time. Now, I'll be looking at three key concepts. One is the choices we make. Now, the author explains that every choices matter. Even the smallest decision shapes our future. Those little choices that you think that it doesn't matter at all or anything, but it does matter a lot. So, for example, just to wake up early instead of pressing the Zoom button may seem like a small decision, but over several months, it gives you more time to study, pray, exercise, or work on your goals. You cannot just wake up in the morning and carry your phone and press. That's really bad. That's a wrong habit, because you have to wake up, tidy your bed, pray to God before any other thing comes first. So, on the other hand, constantly making poor choices eventually leads to poor results, because we make that's why I'm starting with this this key concept, which is choices, because mainly we make bad choices, and we ourselves don't really know that we make bad choices. Let me say, what should I actually use now as an example? The bad choices we made. These are little stuff that I know that we don't really know that we did those bad choices. Maybe you'll be thinking that it's just this stuff, but you don't know that it has its repercussion, it has its effect. So moving over to the next, which is key concept number 2, habits. Now our habits are actions. So they speak, they perform repeatedly. Good habits create success, bad habits create failure. So the interesting thing is that habits are often invisible because they happen automatically. For example, checking social media every 5 minutes may not seem harmful, but over time it wastes many hours, because that period whereby you're pressing your phone, you're always on TikTok. I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't be on TikTok, you understand? But that's what we mean, overdoing it, and it's not good, because the time you use in pressing your phone, going to TikTok, watching videos, they're really bad. You should actually cut some time, read your books, even though, like I said earlier, even though it's one pages over, like 1 pages, you go to bed, not always carrying your phone, use on social media, and that's really bad. So now, likewise studying consistently every day may seem ordinary, but over time it leads to excellent grades. Your daily habits are building your future, whether you realize it or not. So now, key concept number 3, momentum. Momentum means that once you start moving in the right direction, it becomes easier to keep going. Imagine pushing a heavy car. At first it's difficult, but once the car starts moving, it becomes easier to push. The same applies to success. The hardest part is getting started. Once consistency becomes part of our lifestyle, achieving your goal becomes easier. So now let us look at these 3 practical examples. Now, example number 1, we have the academic. So as university students just 30 to 45 minutes every day is much more effective than reading throughout the night before an exam. I know I've talked about that earlier because like I said earlier, that we university students, as a student, both secondary, university, we all have this habit of always reading the night before exam, which is very wrong and it's very very bad. It is not a nice thing to do at all. You should have this. You should change that habit because that's a really bad thing to do. Always read a chapter or a page before, like 30 to 45 minutes, like I said earlier. Always read a page, but even though it's just one page, just the topic of what you were taught that day, just read them before going to bed. So now, daily revision helps us understand and remember our lesson better, because you cannot just be taught and then you go to bed, carry your phone, start watching movies, because I feel like what you are being taught, once you get to your hostel, once you get to your various places, revise them too, because I feel like when you revise them, they are going to stick to your head and you will not forget them. I promise you that. Eventually, those small study sections lead to better grades. So this is just, you can, if that you feel like you reading alone isn't really what, like if you don't understand, like it makes you, I don't know how to say it, but like you don't like reading alone, you can actually, gather groups of people, join groups that you see that, oh god, they're really effective in reading their books and all of that. So this book now is just trying to tell us that consistency over time is it. Like this book in general is just talking about consistency. Your habit, the choices, everything you do in life has its repercussion, and it also affects our future and how we behave. So now talking about example number 2, now coming over to finances. Imagine saving just 500 naira every day. After 1 month, you save like 1,000. After 1 month, you save like 15,000. After 1 year, that's over 180,000 without considering interest. So a small amount saved consistently becomes something meaningful. This is the compound effect in action. To me, let me just explain what this part is just trying to say now, the example of this. Because when you save money every day, it gives you like, let me say, naturally as a student you have to save, because imagine just saving 500 naira every day. Within 1 month you've saved like up to 15k, and a year you saved like 180,000 naira, which is really a good thing to do. You can actually add extra effort, because the book actually is talking about extra effort, putting much more effort in it. You need to be consistent in what you're doing, because when you're saving 500 naira today and the next day you're not saving again, it won't even make sense at all. You find out that your money is not going anywhere. So just keep on saving, make sure you're consistent in what you're doing. Keep on putting your 500 naira every day. If you feel like you can do this, you want to push yourself, you can still add more money to it. So example 3, health. Suppose someone decides to walk for just 30 minutes every day. They may not notice much change after 1 week. However, after several months, they become healthier, stronger, and more energetic. Good health comes from consistent, healthy choices. So this part is also trying to tell us that this book now, because there's these three people that Darren actually used in his learning. One was saving. Okay, no, one normally drinks, one don't, one stays consistent in not drinking because he made his own decision of not drinking coke, while the other one was he was just there. So the one that was actually drinking coke later, like at future, he became obese, which was not really nice. While the one that was drinking, that made a decision not to take coke or anything, he was in shape and all of that. So for my own personal lesson, I'll just say that one personal lesson I learned from this book is that I don't have to become successful overnight. I simply need to become better every day instead of focusing on huge achievements. So in conclusion, the compound effect teaches us that success is not based on luck or talent. It is built through consistent positive actions repeated every day. Thank you.